Hey, this is KCWM, and I figured I would give a quick tour of my crafting area for D&D, minis, terrain, painting, all the different stuff that goes into everything. And I figured I don't know, I've been posting a lot of miniatures and paint progress and stuff, so I figured I would show you guys kind of the area that I'm working in. If you haven't checked out channels like Black Magic Craft or Wyloch, that's Wyloch, or DMG, or the numerous channels that do wonderful painting and terrain making tutorials, you should definitely check them out. They've been a major inspiration to me coming back into the world of D&D. I know I normally have been posting a couple of pedal demos, but this is another hobby that I've been doing since 7th grade. So that was, I don't know, 12 or 13, and I'm 40 now. So I've been doing D&D for a long time. But figured I would show you guys this. That way, if you're interested in getting into painting and you found this through Instagram, or you've seen the stuff that I posted on my Facebook page, if you're one of my Facebook friends, or you've just come across this, then you can kind of get an idea of what I use and go from there. So I'll start with my brushes, and I'm not one to do a whole lot of edits, so if I mess up what I'm saying or you hear a weird creak, I just leave it in because that's the way that I am. So you're going to get a little bit of a mixture into my computer space, my personal desk area here in the dining area where I do all my stuff. So you have the paintbrush set, which I got from Amazon, which is the brown set. It came in a container, like a plastic container, but I keep it in this thing I got from Five Below. This brown one here is the main one I've been using to do dry brushing. It's just a flat brush. The one next to it I've been using to do some brush on primer from the Army Painter, Army Painter sets. And then this one over here was one with a number 2 brush that I was using for a while, but accidentally brushed it into some super glue. And super glue and bristles don't really go well together. This other one's another flat one that I've been using for dry brushing, but it's not been the primary one. And then there's some other ones that they include, a couple of other, I think, like round brushes, but I haven't been using as much. The blue set came from Walmart. I think it was like $7. The big brush in the back is one I use to paint terrain, both with the cheap craft paints from Walmart and some wash that I made using Black Magic Crafts wash formula, like the basic one. These are the brushes I've been using lately. They're not the big brush. That's one to like brush dust off of stuff. This is an Army Painter Insane Detail brush. The other one is a Winsor Newton Cotman brush. Let's see if that'll get in the focus there. It's a number 2. It's pretty good. I've been digging it. Then I have an actual Winsor Series 7 number 2. I've read nothing but good things about those, and that's the first one I've ordered, but I want to get a little bit better before I bust it out. And then the other one back there is another Cotman 00 brush. So those are the ones, the main brushes that I've been using. Sorry, Texas allergies are kind of killing me at the moment. There you have a pin vise, I think is what it is, or a pin screw thing. One I picked up when I was doing 40K, but the tip broke. I recently just bought a new set off of Amazon. I need to get the new thing out and bring them in here. Using that to, if I need to pin something, you can use the varying lengths of it. It's great. And then my paint collection. Some of these are from when I did 40K, back when I did the Hitting on Threes podcast, and hated painting back then, and now I don't so much. But you'll notice that I have invested in the contour color, or the contrast color from GW. If you're new to painting, and I've posted about them, I'm no shill for GW, but I really like these paints. They've definitely made getting into painting easier. And then I use those as a lot of my bases and initial inks, and then I use the other ones up here. As you can see, I've arranged them more or less sort of in rainbow, at least for the couple rows. You have the metallics. I have a chainmail, kind of like lighter metallic, a couple of gunmetals, a couple different golds, a bronze, and then white, a couple grays, black, medium brown, like a light brown, varnish, the brush on primers, red, yellow, and some of those are like Reaper Master Series or something like that. They're they're pretty old, but they still work. They still, after years of unuse, they work just fine. That game color in the middle that I have two of, basically, it's one of my favorite blues, but it got clumpy, and then these other colors, and then a lot of these are leftovers from when I did 40K that actually still worked. My wash is down there. Got a bunch of different black, a green. I'm not sure what that nightshade. I think it's purple maybe, and then a flesh one, brown ink, armor wash from Premier Press Paints, a couple of game inks, and then Army Painter sells these empty bottles, and I put this Liquitex thinning or pouring medium, and into the small thing. You can use it to. I think I saw a video about thinning out some paints without losing the color, because it's basically acrylic paint that's uncolored, and then some few water droplets. I did invest in the color Gray Sear, the contrast paint, and then my Liquitex. My daughter gave me that for Father's Day, a little Yoda with a cactus in it. This is my Proxon Thermocut that I've seen Black Magic Craft use, and he suggested, and I haven't really got a chance to start using it yet, but I hopefully plan to start crafting terrain out of this XPS foam from Lowe's. One of the things that I'm into with Lowe's is they refuse to cut the XPS foam. But when I got it from Home Depot, when I was making battle boards for Hitting on Threes, or at least for that channel, Home Depot had no problem cutting it. And Lowe's said that it would cause a mess, but I don't think they realized that XPS foam is different than EPS foam. One's extruded polystyrene and the expanded polystyrene. So the white styrofoam is what we normally deal with and causes all kinds of problems. But you can see where they cut it with their cutting knife and just jagged it all up. But they refused to do it, but they still cut it for me. So that was nice. You have the rocks that I posted not too long ago, my squirt that I've been drinking, some of the figures that I've posted. That I'm working on. There's one of the orcs to go with the other two up there. Dragon wings. Back here you have a big dragon from the Reaper Bone series. Something my daughter made me a couple of Father's Days ago. But these board games that come with a bunch of different figures, if you can get them on Amazon for $30, the figures end up being basically a dollar a piece. You have to paint them. But that's some cheap figures. If you're getting into minis like I did, or back into minis, then it's a cheap way to get. Granted, it's looking at like $100, a little over $100, but I have like over 100 to 120 miniatures in there. One of them is the Pit Fiend. They have a couple, like a Dracolich. You have undead rat swarms, spider swarms. You have a bunch of different ones that can be expensive to get. I haven't got those. Those will be coming later. You're going to see all my shoes over here, but down here you can see a fishing box that basically is full of the Reaper Bones 4. Reaper just announced the Reaper Bones 5 that's coming in September, so I'm super excited about that. As you can see here, I have my healing mat, which is 2 foot by 3 foot, so it takes up a lot of space. I basically had to redo this little area to give myself a crafting area. And then over here I have like a little cart that has paper cutter, some bases that I got on Amazon. I bought this from Magic and Mystics, I think. Magic and Mortar. And he is doing a tutorial on ice walls, using a little bit of inspiration from Black Magic Craft, but he's doing a giveaway. And he had an Etsy shop, and this was, it's $8, but he got it to me quick. It looks great. I can't wait to use it. Inside this, which I picked this up at Michael's, they were doing 50% off all craft storage. I have D&D miniatures that I haven't opened yet, that I have to paint, all the different types of elementals, some more Reaper Bones that I bought on eBay. This whole thing was $40 with the top, so it was half off, so it was a lot more expensive than that. You have flocking stuff, basing stuff, super glue, another kind of super glue, accelerator, magic brush cleaner, glue sticks, and down here is my Mod Podge, paintbrush water, black wash that I use from Black Magic Crafts recipe, and then I have a wet palette down there that I bought instead of making one of my own. I'll probably make one of my own in the future because I don't think it's worth it. A pack of chipboard because I intend to combine Black Magic Crafts dungeon tiles with Wylock's locking dungeon tiles, and he uses that chipboard that I got from Amazon for, I don't know, $12 for a pack of 25 one by one. I mean, I shouldn't need more than that for a long time. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I have my Citadel figure holders, the one for 25 and 40 millimeter bases, and one for a much bigger one that not had to use a whole lot. I used it for this this terrain, which I did get off Amazon. It was a 6-pack of plastic instead of styrofoam. Toothpicks because they're always useful. But yeah, it's a quick rundown. By quick, I mean almost 12 minutes because I don't shut up. The crafting thing can seem, especially with the paints, it can seem expensive. I have seen pages or forum posts of people that just use the cheap crafting paint from Walmart that are 50 cents a piece, except for the big ones are $2.50. And they made some fantastic stuff. As long as you're thinning your paints a little bit and, not going crazy, I mean, you can definitely make use of 50-cent paints that holds a lot more than the Citadel paints that are $7.80 a piece for the contrast colors or $5 for the other pots. The War Painter or the Army Painter and Vallejo are only like $3.29 at the local store, which isn't bad. I kind of wish I had just bought like one of the $100 packs on Amazon that came with like 50 different paints. It would have been cheaper, and I'd have a wider variety. The plexiglass thing is a nail polish holder from Amazon, but it's perfect for the different paints. Holds the Citadel and the Vallejo. So it can be expensive to get in. Yeah, I mean, of course. But like this, outside of me, I mean, music is what it is. I love music. I love playing music and recording it and writing, and it's such a cathartic hobby. But like this painting, I hated painting when I did 40K, but painting D&D, painting one-off miniatures, trying to get better. Starting off with, I mean, I'm by no means great, but starting off where I was a month ago to where I feel like I'm getting now, like this is one of the first ones that I painted, and it looks all right. There are things that I think I could have done better. I didn't use any of the contrast paints for that. I mean, I feel like a lot of these are ones that I could have bought from a D&D multi-pack and come with it. There's this one's I magnetized this to the base because it kind of fell over, and so I put a magnet on the bottom, and now it stands up just fine. I have a magnet collection somewhere from my 40K days, but as I was saying, I didn't enjoy painting 40K because it just felt so monotonous. But each one of these figures I can kind of customize and have it be okay, whether it's a troll from D&D or some Reaper bones that I bought for my Dungeons and Dragons game, or painting a bunch of orcs or some bandits. It's been a lot of fun. If you can find the Reaper bones 4, you can get them for $150, $175, but you get so many figures that they come out to be about $1 or $1.25 each, and that's really cheap, especially for, I mean, that was one of the big old dragons that's going to go on this big old 4-inch base, and I mean that basically came out to $1.25 for a figure. I mean, you look at that, it's a great hobby to get into. But anyway, this has gone on long enough. I've rambled. So if you found this on Instagram, I really appreciate you following and liking the posts that I do and follow me on that journey. If you found this from YouTube, again, check out those other channels, Black Magic Craft, Wylock, and DMG. I mean, there's so many, but those have been the main ones. Especially Black Magic Craft, that guy just makes things very accessible. The Magic and Mortar site, like he's doing stuff too. Check all that out. Follow me on Instagram. It's KCWM underscore, or youtube.com/KCWM. Somehow I managed to have a URL from years and years ago. Hopefully YouTube doesn't catch that and may take it away. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and hope to continue painting stuff for you guys to enjoy, or recording music if you're here somehow for the music too. Yeah, have a good one. Thanks, guys.